Hey guys, Father Time here. How do I know? Because my sign says Father Time. And 777 captain in New York, about to retire in September, unless the FAA suddenly changes to age 67. But I'm ready for retirement. Going to do more of this. Pretty new to the sim world, just a few months. If you've never flown with me before, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd help me out. I think as of this morning, we had 802 subscribers. Loyal group, although I haven't been loyal the last week and a half. I have been flying a lot, and I've also been in the midst of my wife's birthday week. So you guys, a word of advice for the old guy, for you young guys. It's not birthday, it's birthday week. We have a birthday, they have a birthday week. That's not being a sexist, that's just facts. And if any time that you violate the birthday week protocol, which essentially is keep your mouth shut, just be smiling, be a nice guy for a whole week, they will let you know that it's their birthday week. So I was been in the midst of my birthday week. As a matter of fact, I still have a day left, but my wife's busy, so I came down here to try to do a quick VATSIM flight. I'm not going to stream it because I don't have that much time, but I'm going to go through the basics of VATSIM. VATSIM basics on a little Kennedy to JFK. What do you need? By the way, I am in the midst of downloading version 6 of P3D. I fly P3D because I'm a 777 captain in real life. It's the only place you can find it. You can't fly a study level 777 on Microsoft Flight Simulator yet, maybe next year. But anyway, that's why I do it. I'm looking forward to two things. 777 coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator via PMDG, and TFDI coming up with their MD-11. Hopefully that'll be soon over to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Anyway, you're going to need a SimBrief account. You're going to need VATSPY, VPilot, SimBrief Dowmloader, flights, Active Sky if you're on P3D, and Navigraph account, Chase plane, all these things, VATSIM, SimBrief. I'll leave that down in the description when you go. But let's start cold, dark airplane, okay? Where do we want to go? That's what I always start off with. Well, this is the Northeast. This is VATSPY. VATSPY. Get an account over there. Look at this coverage. We're Sunday. It's 10:30, and there's not much going on. A lot of ATISes. And you can't complain unless you get your butt out there and qualify as a controller. When I retire, I'm going to try to go through the controller program, and I'll stream a bunch with you guys while I qualify, because I think I need to give back to the community more. Not just use them, but help out in controlling. I think it'll be quite the challenge. Not that I'm not challenged enough doing this. This is Europe. Normally, you get all sorts of action going on down at Gatwick. This is Heathrow, Gatwick. Nothing. Is there something going on? It's a Sunday. I know it's God's day for a lot of us, but I'm here. Not a lot of action. Up here at this is Midlands. For whatever reason, British Midlands has a lot of action, ground and tower, and Manchester has ground. Not much going on. So I'll do a VATSIM out of Kennedy, where we get some guy is there with ground. Maybe we'll get a little more coverage and everything. So the way that it works, guys, so is you have control, London Control, New York Center, you have approach, tower, ground, delivery, ATIS, right? So if the only person online is control, London Control or New York Center, they control center, approach, tower, ground, delivery, and ATIS. They do it all. God bless them, right? I can only imagine what the qualification is for that. I just hang up and go home. But the approach, if you only have approach online, they do approach, tower, ground, delivery, ATIS. If you only have tower online, they do tower, ground, delivery, ATIS, nothing above. If you only have ground, they do ground and delivery, not tower, approach, only below. So it's a top down. So here we have Kennedy ground, so they're only going to do taxiing, and they'll turn us over to Unicom for departure on 22.8. So that's how the VATSIM world works. So you need a VATSPY account. we're going to go to Kennedy to Hartford. I usually try to pick someplace with a lot of coverage. Let's get our P3D account, open it up in Administrator, get that booting up for us. Yeah, this is going to be a long, tedious, one little leg to Hartford with some VATSIM procedures without a lot of VATSIM coverage. I was going to stream, but there's no coverage anywhere. Logan, I'm sorry, buddy. Benchy's working today. Logan's been asking me to stream. I don't know what's going on. It's a very quiet day in the VATSIM world. So P3D is booting up. I'm hoping my computer doesn't crash because I'm going to go through here. You can set my, let me see, P3D, 300 EX, ER. These the GE engines, which we have. And I'm going to do airport. I'll do KJFK. Yeah, man, I love the PMDG product. I really wish, and I'll go right from the gate, guys, because we're going to be a cold, dark airplane. And American Airlines terminal over here is gate, the 8 terminal, number 8. This is 814. It's a wide body gate. All the gates are wide bodies. And we'll get it signing in. While it's doing that, I'm going to minimize that. I'm going to get Active Sky going. I'm going to run that as administrator. Active Sky. And it's up and running already. I did this before it crashed. I think it crashed because I am in the process of updating to P3D version 6. I think that's why it crashed. So I just don't have enough frames per second. I'm going to try it again, though. So we're going to go Kennedy to, so next thing I'm going to do is go to SimBrief. Now, SimBrief. Oh, let's see, pre-file network. So I should probably start over, right? Start over so you can see this. So we're going to go to SimBrief. You need a SimBrief account. And I'm going to plug in here SimBrief and simbrief.com and dispatch system. And we're going to go create a new flight. We have a lot of saved flights. We're going to new flight. Just want to show you how to do it from scratch. American Airlines 123. The always popular packed flight from Kennedy to Bradley on a 777-300. Right? So we're departing Kennedy, arriving Hartford. Alternate, I'll put in my old stomping grounds, which is Providence. We'll see how that works out. Aircraft type 777-300 ER. You can save favorites here, so you don't have to scroll through every time. I haven't done it. 777-300 ER right there. And do that one. ATC call sign American Airlines 23. That's the registration. GE engines means we start one at a time. You can save the units to always do in pounds. So it defaults to kilograms. And now let's see. Schedule block time, it's out to in, but flying time is much shorter, probably like 30 minutes at the most. Let's generate a flight. And once you've generated a flight, you can come down and pre-file on a network, show details, VATSIM. Okay, pre-file on VATSIM. Here's our call sign, 777-300. Off block time that gives a predicted 15,000 feet. That's right, fuel endurance. Let's go into Bridgeport. And that's it for the arrival. Pretty short flight plan. And do a SimBrief. And the flight plan was filed on VATSIM right there. Before you do anything else, you're going to have to establish a SimBrief Dowmloader account. So right now you got VATSPY, SimBrief Dowmloader. I come in here, I run an administrator for whatever reason. Now here's where you send it to your airplane. PMDG, you can send it to Microsoft Flight Simulator, whatever. Pick your aircraft type, PMDG flight plan, downloading. That's JFK to Boston, yes. Continue. I'm hoping while we do this, some approaches and things, some tower and approach, and center opens up. Because it's the only time I have today. Because it's still his birthday week. It still is. Her birthday was the 19th, so birthday week started. To be honest with you, it probably started like the 15th, going to the. It's probably more like 10 days. Today's the 23rd, so I'm in the midst of it. So I'm playing with fire being down here. She's awesome, but I know better. She's been real good because she's busy today. So that's it. So now we've downloaded it to VATSIM and the airplane. Let's come back into P3D, get the airplane up and running. Cold, dark airplane. Let's take a look at what we got here. See how pretty it is. There she blows. 777-300 with a 2L door open for no reason. So why don't we get in and make that look a little prettier before we get up and running here, okay? So cold, dark airplane. We come in the airplane, walk up. That's where the we call him the food boy, FB, sits right here. And the FC sits there, the fourth pilot, or the relief captain. Captain sits here. Bob, the co-pilot, sits there. We come in, we check their comm panel, we check the circuit breakers on the overhead. There's some circuit breakers down here. We check that we have our MEL, our CDL, our logbook. We review our logbook before we touch anything. Make sure there's nothing open. Maybe we shouldn't be touching anything. Then we come down the center console. Fuel handles are in. Fuel cutoff switches are cut off. Throttles are idle. Parking brake is on. We got the speed brake lever up. Flap levers up. Reverse levers are down. Got the gear handle is down. I just put that there now. Come to the overhead. Believe it or not, wiper switches are off. Hydraulic switches are there. Oh, look at APU generators on. Okay, we're going to battery on and get the APU started. Before we did that, we would try to do the fire test, but we have no power at all. Usually we get in here, we'd have primary and secondary. If you, for the 777, unless you were going to have load sheds of the galley, if you just had primary electrical external hooked up, you'd load shed some things. They'd probably dump the galley, the ovens. You need two sources on the ground, primary and secondary, two separate hookups, or APU and primary or APU and secondary. Right now we don't have anything on, so we're going to start the APU up. While I'm doing that, I'm going to get the ADARUs aligning. They take 10 minutes. So the battery switch is on. Start the APU. We would have established primary and secondary and tested the APU, but we can't do that on just battery power. ADARUs are warming up. Emergency light switches, I'm going to close those, and we got to wait for the APU to start up before we can do a heck of a lot more. That's a kind of cool view here. So you can see that we don't have anything hooked up to the airplane. Truly is a cold dark. When I come up to the airplane as the captain, the airplane's up and running. Flight plan is usually loaded. I brief the flight attendants. We sit down, brief the crew, run the checklist, and off we go. But today we're going to take it cold dark. It's pretty. Gate 14 at Kennedy. All right, back in here. APU is starting. Let's go outside and see if we can hear it starting. Maybe. Give it a start. I'm going to turn the packs on, so when the APU comes on, they'll be ready to roll. Way to check to see if the APU is running. Normally these screens take a little while to wind up. While I'm waiting, I'll get to start presetting some of the panel. The runway 4 right for departure, so I'm going to set in 100 heading. It's at 400 feet, 1.5 DME off Kennedy, right to 100. This thing's going to be down low around 150 or so. I'm just doing this while I wait for the flight directors are on. So 5 paddles. Both flight directors, both auto throttles, and the autopilot engage switch are up. Sounds like the APU's starting to run. pretty soon we'll have ourselves some power. We'll take it cold dark. Yeah. Get this up as bright as possible. These screens take a little while to set up. But let's get some ground connections, and we'll get some ground power plugged in. Requesting ground power. Get that going. Let's get all sorts of stuff going. Let's do some service vehicles. Get everything out here. Make it look like someone cares that we're here, right? And through the miracle of PMDG, we'll get it all up and running. I don't want to do stairs. What I would rather do is GSX requests refueling, additionals, operate jetways. No jetways can operate at this position. I don't know, PMDG. All right, then. We'll do stairs. We'll do double stairs. We'll load them off the ramp. Have it your way. All right. And then we're going to go to FMC. Check the database. 777-300 GEs, which means we start one at a time. The Pratt & Whitney and the Trent, or the Rolls-Royce, you can start them both at the same time. Database is good. Today's July 23rd, so we're good. Position. We can take the GPS coordinates, drop them in. IRSs are still aligning. ADARUs, rather. I always put in JFK as a technique to check for reasonableness. Now, route. KJFK to the always popular KJFK Bradley route. American flies 8 a day with 777-300s. Not, right? So I'm going to go route request. So now it's talking. I know it's going to come in because we filed on SimBrief. We send it to VATSIM. But on Brief Dowmloader, that account, we send it to the airplane. Look at all that action out there now. Little stair action coming in. JetBridge does not want to cooperate. Come on board, everyone. We don't get all day here. All right, so load. Let it load up. And the only thing in here is Bridgeport. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. Activate. Execute. And that was runway 4 left was departure for American Airlines flight 123. Maybe while we're doing this, so we get the page 1 loaded up. I'm going to route copy just so I don't forget. I'm going to go to departures arrival, JFK runway 4 left. That's 1.5D, 100 heading. Okay. Then I'm gonna file an arrival into Bradley. I'm gonna go Bradley arrivals, ILS to 6. Let's go. Maybe I'll refile Deer Park. Yeah, let's do that. Hampton. I think I'll refile with that. If you take a look, it's Jack Bradley. Let's go. Yeah, that's a funky departure. They're not going to let us do that. But I think what I'm going to do is refile Hampton Deer Park 3 arrival. So let me do this. Another account you're going to need is a VPilot account, which if you look down here, VPilot is right here. I'm going to get that going here. Before I connect, I'm going to do this flight plan. And we already filed on SimBrief, but I'm going to redo this. KJFK, and I'm going to go to KBDL and K Providence, KPVD, because I don't like I really don't like the flight plan. Let me see, a realistic departure time. is going to be 1520. Right now it's 1046 local, plus 4 is 14. Let's go 1520. Departure time is 1720. Is that true? No, 15. Come on. 15. Let's go 1530. 1530. Give ourselves plenty of time. En route time. How long a flight was it anyway there, guys? Like 30 minutes. The most. 30. And en route time, it's like 1 hour. I mean, the fuel on board, 1 hour 45. And we're going to go at, what would we say, 15,000 feet? All right, and then we're going to go KJFK, KJ, FK, 04 right, 04 left, JFK-5, then Hampton to the hold on a second. Hampton to the Deer Park 3 to Briss. Deer Park 3 to Briss. Hampton, DPK 3 to Briss. And then it's the ILS, and then runway 06. That's it. And remarks, send and receive, 15,000. Load. Nope. We're just going to file that flight plan. And hopefully that's what we'll get. Now we're going to connect. We're going to connect as American Airlines flight 123. You guys are seeing behind the scenes stuff here. 777W. That is a ERW. Cell call is correct. Connect. And we'll see what we got here in terms of our coverage. It's connecting. It's thinking about it. There we go. Oh no. Is Kennedy gone? Look at the Kennedy is off the air. So now we got LaGuardia and Newark. We go to VATSPY, and there's JFK. And I left-clicked on JFK ATIS. And here it is. Jenna Kennedy ATIS 020, 10 miles, 20,000, 25,000, 27, which is 81, 2998 is going to be the altimeter. Approach and use ILS 4 right, ILS 4 left, departing runway 4 left. NOTAMs, operate transponder on mode C on all taxiways and runways. Read back all runway hold short instructions. Advise you have Foxtrot. All right, so ground is 21.9. Oh, New York Center, look at this. Guys. 25.3, that is big. So let's put that in. 25.325. 25.325. And squawk 1061. All right. All right, so here we go. Do not reply to this message. Pre-file departure clearance. Start 1450. Okay, right now. American Airlines flight 123 equipment. It's a 777-300. Expect runway heading to the frequency 1.5 DME, then right turn heading 100. Maintain 5,000. Departure freak 125-325. 125-325. And then Kennedy ground is 21.9. Having a little trouble here. All right, so we got 21.9, 125, 325. And here's the clearance. All right, so KJFK to Bradley, squawk 1061, before we forget that, right? 1061. Sorry, guys, I have to see that. 1061. Put this on, transponders on 1061. Final altitude, climb maintain 5,000. Final altitude is 10. Approved route JFK-5 to Bridgeport. Departure frequency 125, 325. Okay, we got to come into our box now. This is good, right? We got a little ground action and clearance going on. Got the ATIS set in, and the ATIS information was, what did I say? ATIS was Foxtrot. Foxtrot. And ATIS 2998. Okay. Let's see. So into the box. They didn't want us to do that, so they just wanted us for our clearance to go to BDR. So I think what I can do, departures, arrivals, let's just do this, guys. Okay, BDL, route request, just going to be BDR. JFK-5, 400 feet, 1.5 to me, right to 100 is what they're clearing us, and they just want our clearance limit to be BDR. So there it is, load, routes loading. This is how tedious it can be to get going sometimes. I know it's tedious. There it is, activate, execute, runway, 04 left. Flight, American Airlines flight 123, non-stop service to Hartford, route copy, JFK departure, JFK-5, which is 100 heading, and we don't have an arrival. So I think what I'll just do is put in Bradley, iOS to 6, Penna transition, I'll put that in, and hold it right there. So our route, JFK to Bradley, runway 4 left, which is 1.5 to me, right to 100. We got 120, flight 123, route is copied. Next page, JFK-5 Bradley, direct to Bridgeport, then radar vectors, probably Penna for the arrival into Bradley. And what's really cool, what really worked out, is we've got ground, so we got clearance already, got ground, and we have New York Center, which will take us all the way to Bradley. Let me just see if any action is going on over at Bradley by any chance. Here it is, and here's Bradley. No. So we just got ground, and we got a center. Okay, that's VATSPY. All right, so that was a good exercise, right? Over on this side, we would always have 21.5 ready to go, which is guard. We'd always monitor guard. But the truth is, at Kennedy, USA ramps, most European ramps, ground controls the gates. Here, ramp controls the gates. Now, if we wanted to update this box here, we could. Data link, ACARS, pre-flight, and fill this all in. My experience is it doesn't work. CPDLC doesn't work. This has to be in data mode. If it's not, you won't be able to get any ACARS transmission. Not a big deal. So let's also, we would have these two toggled up. We've got Kennedy ATIS already. We're going to be talking to ground.
4 left with the left turn on Bravo, Kilo, and cross 2
all right,
left.
let's toggle these down for now. We'd be talking to our pushback crew on this frequency right there. But we're going to talk to ground today, so we'll have that ready to go in a minute. All right, so we have our clearance, we have our ATIS information Foxtrot. We're at gate 14. We got to finish. We have our box loaded partially, and so that's that. Let's go to legs, route data. I'm going to request the winds. Haven't gotten that yet. A NIT This is our perf, accept, 0 fuel weight. I'm going to, that's all good. Wind updates ready. Route data, load.
Delta's 275 Candy Ground, reach you 5x2. You're a bit low.
There we go. Yeah, let me see if my mic works here. Yep, it works. Good. Descent forecast is uplinked. Decast. If your ACARS isn't working, which of course it isn't, your chances are you forgot to load your winds. Little trick point there. 0 fuel weight. Let's do that correctly. Sim brief. I'll come up here. Oh, 0 fuel weight is. This is important. Our air time is 24 minutes. Pretty quick flight. Our 0 fuel weight is 458.2, and our takeoff weight is 486.1. CG is 25, and that is it. Okay, so let's go back to the box. And 0 fuel weight 458.2. I'm not worried about the departure time, guys. I'm going to do everything right here. Our fuel, through the miracle of PMDG, let's go to fuel. And how much fuel we're supposed to have? I should have written that down too, right? And our fuel is only 29.3, so I'd say 29.4. 29.4. So we put in our correct CG, our correct fuel, and now if you go to our flaps, what are we going to set? Let's go over here and do some performance on our electronic flight bag. Airport search. Easy, right? KJFK. Search ident. It's in there, KJ. So essentially, guys, we're going to fill in the gray boxes plus the stuff down here and calculate. So runway, 4 left. Runway condition is dry. Wind. ATIS. Wind was information. Foxtrot.
Alpha Golf Charlie Yankee Zulu Candy Ground. Come in.
0207. Not sure really how important that is, but 020. 020. That's the reason I'm bothering doing this, guys. Obviously, we have plenty of things, but is outside air temperature is 27, which is 81 C. C. You got to put in a C here. 27C. QNH is 2998. 29.98. Thrust rating. Normally it calculates. I'm going to go all the way to 2. Flap configuration, optimum. Aircraft auto packs are auto. Anti-ice is off. We'll put that on auto. Calculate. Big number I'm looking for here is 93.8, which is the N1. That is way too high of a V2. Way too high of a V2. You know why? Captain Marvel never put in his takeoff weight here. 46.1. Garbage in, garbage out. I do a lot of garbage. 46.1. 486.1. And CG was 25.5, so put in 26. Now calculate. They're asking if we're doing pattern work. That's for the other guy. All right, 93.8 is our N1. 93.8. And assume temp right here, 32. 32. Our bugs are 42, 47, 57. And 1,000-foot cleanup, flaps 5. So that's cool. That's the electronic flight bag. Thought you'd enjoy that. So flaps 5. We talked about that. 32 is the assumed temp. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, you got to go thrust limit. We're going TO2 for climb and takeoff. Yeah, otherwise, guys, you're just a rocket ship. And remember I said it was 93.8? It's 93.6. That's close enough. Let's go back to this. And thrust limit, takeoff, Takeoff CG is 26. All right, and these are the bugs: 43, 48, 57, and this says 42, 47, 57. That all looks good. All right, so we got the 93.8. It's 93.6. That's good. This should be, what do we say, 157. 157. All the paddles are up. 100 at 1.5 to me, 100 on the heading.
Aircraft on
5,000.
frequency. Kennedy ATIS information Gulf now current. Kennedy altimeter 2 manor 8.
All right, information Gulf. So to get that, you double click on Kennedy ATIS. Information Gulf. 0108, 10 miles, 6,000 at few, 6,000, 20,000 few, few 25. Nice day. 28, dew points 14. These are close. You have a possibility of fog. 2998, approach and use 4 right and 4 left, departing 4 left. NOTAMs, operate transponder mode, see on all taxiways and runways. We did all that. Information Golf. Okay, sounds good. And so we still have New York Center and ground. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. This is shaping up to be kind of a VATSIM flight. All right, so we loaded the box. What we didn't do, guys, is come up here on the overhead. So ADARU's on asymmetry thrust computer, which is for differential thrust. It automatically puts in rudder after about 10 degrees. Let's turn these off because we're about to, turn these off. We're about to start engines. Ground proximity, runway override switches off. Emergency lights are on. Window heat's all on. Raymer turbines, all the electrics are off. We'll start the, get the seatbelt signs on. We're about to start. All the lights are off except for nav. And come back up to the top. We did all the fire tests. We would have run all the fire tests. And check down below for all the appropriate lights.
Video check.
Normal, 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 normal. Air conditions all good. All good.
497 Kennedy ground, reach you 555.
Mode control panel set. We come across. We need VNAV, LNAV. VNAV, we can use LNAV because at 1.5 it's going to go to 100. Then we got to come down the middle. Auto brakes, RTO. We do the recall and hydraulic pressure. This is good. Doors. Let's get everything closed up here, guys. Before we do the rest of this checklist, we'd be waiting for this. Flight sim actions, ground service. Got to release. Let's take a look outside before we say goodbye to all these guys. That's some serious action, other than the jet bridge not working, right? Release, release, release. You guys can all go back. Thank you so very much for all your help. Forward cargo, we're all done. We're all loaded. Stairs can all go. Back in here. FMS. We can get rid of the ground power too. Service locations. Yep. This. FMS ground connections. Release the ground power. Chalks are removed. Menu.
Aircraft calling Kennedy ground. What you were unreadable.
All good. Hydraulics are all good. All right, guys, let's run the checklist before we call ground. And checklist. Oxygen is checked. We already did that. We would have each checked our oxygen. Flight instruments are checked. Parking brakes, we can item override that because it's released. Tugs will say hooked up. Go to normal menu. I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that, right? All right, so flight deck door. That's back here. Closed and secured. Okay, back up front. MCP. We already did that, but let's try it again. We got all the flight directors are on, auto throttles are on, autopilot's engaged, LNAV, VNAV, 157, 100 heading at 1.5 DME, auto on the bank, 5,000, 1,000 foot increment selector is selected, MCP panel is checked. Flight deck door is closed and secured. Takeoff speeds. You know what we didn't do, but I know what it is. But in that takeoff. We should have checked the next page.
Delta 1
800
Heavy,
engine
after
out,
crossing runway
1,000 feet,
A11 right
1,000
on
feet. If
Kilo,
you were
contact
IKO,
departure on
NADP1, like
125.32
Europe,
north.
FP 1500 thrust reduction, 3,000
After crossing, we'll
Excel.
contact departure on
And something else I didn't do
125.32 Delta 1 Heavy. Thank you.
is I should set 810 engine out down here. Minimums. 810, that's 800 AFL. So if you lose an engine, we'll do the takeoff brief in just a minute. Runway 4 does not have an engine out procedure, so we'll talk about that in a moment when we get to it on the checklist. All right, takeoff speeds are checked. CDU pre-flight, we would have gone through database, right? Index, ident, all the database. Position looks good. Route, walk through the route, which is benign. Then go through the legs on the plan mode. We come up here. We go to plan, back down, and we'd step through the legs while we watched in the nav display. And we get to the end, we go Prague, check that distance 94 against the flight plan distance, which says we are block time 95. So that's reasonable. It can be within 10. Just have to have a reason if it doesn't line up. That's how we pre-flight that. We also go to Navrad and make sure in automatic or remote, not manual or procedural. A, P, or R, not an M for manual. It does remember if someone's dialed in something manually, so you're going to make sure you don't do that. And legs are good. Come back up here and go back to map mode. All right, so CDU pre-flight's complete. Trim, the way we get our trim is we get the closeout, and our trim is right here, 5.75. If you take a look, it's saying this is 8, 6, 5.75. So we would set that up here. We're going to do these hydraulic pumps anyway in just a second. And we come back down 5.75. That's 6 right there. 5.75. So trim is set. Takeoff brief. All right, Bobby boy, be my takeoff. We've flown together 8,000 times. Anything prior to 80 knots, we'll execute the abort. Between 80 and V1, if it's an engine failure, fire, overheat, compressor stall, engine's about to fail or has failed, we'll abort. Otherwise, we're kind of in the go mode between 80 and V1 for everything else. If it happens to be a wheel failure or tire overheat, or don't let me pull the gear up, leave the gear down. If it's an engine out, we'll go to 810, clean it up in VNAV, come back around and land at Kennedy. At 3,000 is a Goodman sector. Transition altitude is 18,000. Any questions, any threats? And he says, well, the only threat I can see is that, you're a lousy sim pilot. And, he's right.
JFK ground Endeavor 6105.
He's right.
Golf
I'm not hurt anymore by Bob. I'm really not. So, you go back here.
Endeavor 6105, Kennedy ground. I do not have a flight plan.
That's
for your
good.
vision file.
Good.
My bad.
Good. And before taxi, we'll do that in a second. All right. I don't think they need a pushback clearance off of the gear for ground because we are controlled by a ramp
We just followed
here.
it for, Endeavor
Let's go outside, guys.
6105.
Let's go outside and we'll see if they got a tower.
Endeavor 6105.
Still just ground.
Yep. Are you sure you followed it through the VATSIM network?
Oh. Why are those on? Those should not. Oh, maybe it's in reverse. That's not a good sign, guys. Did you see that? Yeah, let me try this. Why are those on? That's not a good sign. Don't like to see that.
Endeavor 6109, standby clearance and request.
It's always something, isn't it? So, those are spoilers. Those are ground spoilers that are up there. That tells me maybe it thinks it's in the... That's just a boarding. Like, watch this. That's full spoilers. Down. Me, armed. Nope. Why are the ground spoilers on? Let me see. Let's go in here through the miracle of P3D and figure something out. All right. Axis assignments. Spoilers. We'll go to the throttle. Let's start out with the Boeing yoke. It's always something. Always something. Axis assignments. Spoiler axis, no. How about ground? Ground. Spoilers, no. Could it have something to do with the hydraulics? Let me see something here. Let me cancel this. Instead, let's go inside. All right. And let's go to the overhead. Let's turn. I mean, this should not do anything. You should not have ground spoilers. Yeah, but why did those go up, right? So this could be interesting. This could be interesting. All right, so everything's, let's pretend that didn't happen. Obviously, that's a maintenance call. All right. And ground American 123.
Oregon 123, Kennedy ground, go ahead.
Yes, so information golf. Do you need us to call you for pushback or just taxi?
Just taxi. Push the stars at your own discretion. Call when ready.
All right, thanks a lot. We'll give you a call. All right, so that's good. I thought that was the case, but all right, let's go down here in the box. This should be interesting with the flight controls, right? Always an adventure. Pushback. And guys, I am not saying it's not me, because it probably is. I'm going to go pushback, left-hand turn. I want to go out November Charlie, so nose to the right, tug that 90 degrees there, and start. Yes, sir.
Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our left.
Kennedy ground, over good morning, Golf Oscar, Oscar Sierra Alpha at Foxtrot. Request taxi to the general aviation.
Brakes released.
Here we go.
Go.
So we got set up as we're on a ramp. I'm just going to go guard over here.
Okay. Taxi to parking via
Let's go outside.
left on Alpha, Quebec, and that's about it.
Roger, Quebec, correction. Left Alpha, then
All right,
Quebec
we're clear to start.
The general aviation for Golf Sierra Alpha. Thanks.
That was interesting. All right, so clear to start. Left one at a time. Clear to start the left engine, Bobby boy. Left engine starting. Now up here, we would go over to monitor the secondary engine page. If you look at the tick mark here on the EGT gauge, when that goes out, the engine's fully started. We're above 10 degrees Celsius, won't need engine ice, so that's what we're looking for. GE's one at a time, Pratt & Whitney's, Trent's, which are Rolls-Royce's, two at a time, which is cool. Let's go back outside and let Bobby start the engine. We'll watch what we're doing. All right, back inside. Let's go overhead.
Pushback complete. Parking brake, please.
Starting the other one.
Brake set.
All right, he's gonna disconnect. I'll let Bob start the engine.
Steering pin is disconnected. Watch for the slim release from guidance on your left. Have a good flight.
Back inside. That one's still starting here. All right, we get our salute, and once we get our salute from the guy, we would flash our taxi light like this and give him a military salute. All right, it started. All right. I get 2, 5, 6. Looks good. All right, go back to the overhead. APU is coming down. Bobby boy, you can go flaps 5, please. Well, that's working. Let's go outside. Moment of truth with Father Time. Left ailerons. Remember, they were snapping up a couple of trips ago. Oh, I'm so happy. Right ailerons. Full left. Full forward. And the rudder's free. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? All right, let's go to the checklist. Hydraulic pressure. All right, so before you push back, you got to run your pre-pushback flow, and I didn't. So, you know, that's bad. So anyway, we're good. So now we come back here. Normal. And before taxi, that was before start. We did all that. Checklist override. Normal. Yeah, so you don't. Anti-ice is off. Recall. Auto brakes RTO. Flight controls a check. And ground equipment is clear. It's good. Let's come back up here and do a recall since I messed that up. Nothing. So we got auto brakes RTO. AP is cooling down. Parking brakes are set. Passenger signs are on. One last check of the overhead. All the lights are out. Everything here looks normal. Flaps are 5. 5:30 was the departure time we gave them. We're at 5:19, so that's pretty good. We're still holding out there. All right, guys, so what did I do? Before I push back, I should turn on the hydraulic pumps and the fuel pumps. That's not good. All right. And Kennedy Ground, American 123. We're pushed back off gate 14, Terminal 8. Request taxi at November Charlie with Gulf.
American 123 Heavy, runway 4 left, taxi via November Charlie, left Bravo, right Kilo, cross runway 31 left on Kilo.
Okay, exit via November Charlie, left on Bravo, right on Kilo, cross runway 3 and left on Kilo, for runway 4 left for American 123 Heavy. All right, that's it. Parking brakes are off. I should be on takeoff page. Bobby should be on legs. All right, let's go. And before takeoff checklist is complete too, because the flaps are already at 5. So that's our next one is after takeoff climb. All right, and the bugs updated after closeout. 160 should be our V2. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Parking brakes released. Clear left, clear right. The last thing was did my hostage stick turn the airplane? For those of you who haven't flown with me before, oh, is it not turning? Come on, big boy. Wow. Wow, let's get a better view than that. 1, 2. Yeah, there's not, if you're off the center line, not a whole lot. All right, so he gave us a left on Bravo, right on Kilo. And you know what we didn't do? We didn't set up a Navigraph. Yeah, I'm a little rusty on this stuff here, guys. Got to tell you. And there you have it. Coming up left on Bravo, right on Kilo. Left on Bravo, right on Kilo. 4 left, cleared across. We'll look at that in a second, all right? So I'm going to put Navigraph down here for a minute. Left on Bravo. We got a long way around to Kilo. All right, before takeoff checklist. Takeoff data and bugs. So Bobby checks, we get the final closeout numbers from cargo and the company for passengers, cargo, fuel. And they say, okay, we're below our plan, so our numbers are good. Our weights, our winds are a headwind. They're 070 at 7. We're on runway 4 left, so we get a slight headwind. Weights, winds, and temperature. Our assumed temp was 37. We're really good. Our planned temp was 27 Celsius, and we're at 25. But that only matters if you max power, guys. So weights, winds, and temperatures checked, and I say, okay, takeoff that is checked. He'll say stabilizer trim. We check the takeoff page, and I say set 5.75. He'll say set 5.75. We'll talk a little bit about the taxiing when we get out here. Back in the saddle. I go back out in a couple of days to London. I actually have a check ride. I got a check airman in the jump seat. For my final check ride in the jump seat, you get one every 2 years. You do a simulator every 9 months, and you do a line check every 2 years. FAA medical every 6 months. All right, we're going to go way up here, turn right on Kilo, cross 3-1 left, going to 4 left, way out here. So let me show you that on the nav display. So here we are. We're going all the way around. We're going to go right on Kilo, cross runway 3-1 left on Kilo, hold short. Now, that airplane that the Delta had to abort for, they were taking off on runway 4 left. And these guys came up here and were cleared to, just like we are, cleared to cross at Kilo. And they went and crossed through, thought they were going to 3-1 left and went at Juliet. And they were right here, and Delta had to abort. American flew on to London. Delta aborted and went and changed their underwear. That's disgusting, Captain Marvel, Father Time. That's disgusting. You're a disgusting man. All right, so the takeoff data and bugs are checked. Stabilizer trim is set. MCP and radios is one thing we do check here. Come back inside. MCP and radios got 160, LNAV, VNAV, 100 on the heading at 1.5 DME, 5,000 is in the window. All right. And what we're anticipating, is there any tower here yet? No, just ground in New York Center. We're anticipating going to New York Center for departure. So I don't need the nav display anymore. Let's put that away. All right. At this point, I don't see any delays. Really don't see anyone else out here. So I go to the overhead panel, and I cycle the thing, and the first officer would say, because I'm taxiing, flight attendants prepare for takeoff. Taxi lights should be on. I'm glad I'm doing this because little rusty at the sim stuff. Little rusty. Always good to get out here. All right, if we lose, then I'd brief Bobby Boy. Bobby Boy, if we lose an engine, it's just the two of us today. We'll go runway heading to 3,000. There's no engine out procedure. We'll clean it up with VNav engaged. Once we get clean, we'll get continuous. Make sure continuous power is set. At that point, I'll fly, handle the radios. You work the problem, get the engine secured. If it's an engine fire, we'll go to the QRC. But if it's just a simple engine failure, we'll clean up. We'll run the checklist after we get the airplane cleaned up under control. Always good that way, guys, because what we're doing is making sure that both of you are flying the airplane unless you absolutely have to get down.
123 heavy after crossing runway 31 left on Kilo. Contact departure on 125.32. Happens flight.
Okay, after crossing through one left on Kilo, contact departure 12532. Thanks a lot for American 123 heavy. All right, guys, here's Kilo, right here.
All stations, Kennedy ground will be closing in 10 minutes. I repeat, Kennedy ground will be closing in 10 minutes.
You guys, if you watch all my videos, don't forget to subscribe. Lower right corner on my big ugly face. But that was funny. I had a VATSIM flight where every time I got close to the runway, the guys went home. It was just, it was actually made for a good stream. They kept closing on me.
American 23, runway 4 left. Taxi via.
All right, clear to cross.
Bravo.
So we clear left and right.
Kilo. Cross runway 31 left on Kilo.
Clear to cross. All right. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. Here we go. One last check. Flaps are set. Auto brakes are armed. Here we go. And what did they clear us to? They cleared us down to control, New York Center for departure. So let's go inside. And we'll just go up and hold short. So New York Center, remember they're the highest, so they're going to control center, approach, tower, and if there was no ground, they do ground clearance. Whoever's doing that is a rock star. If there was just a tower, no control, they go tower, ground, clearance. Nobody would do departure and center. So when you see a center guy, I would guess that's got to be the highest level of controller. Let me give him a call. And New York Center, American 123 Heavy at Kennedy, approaching runway 4 left, is ready for takeoff.
American 123 Heavy, New York Center, hello. Wind 0108, runway 4 left, good for takeoff.
Good for takeoff, 4 left, American 123 Heavy, hello. All right, clear for takeoff, guys.
Walker 2489, descend and maintain 2000.
Descend and maintain 2000, Walker 2489.
Hello 2617.
Final's clear, lights are on.
Vectors to final.
And takeoff's imminent. We cycle this, and they've been warned. Checklist is complete. All right, we're going to keep it in LNAV, which is 1.5 DME, right to 100 heading.
2246, depart Landy, heading 170, vectors ILS, actually correction, American 2246, depart LaGuardia, after LaGuardia, heading 130, vectors ILS 4 right approach.
After LaGuardia, heading 130, and we'll expect vectors ILS 4 right, American 2246.
Walker 2049 is the field.
Walker 2049, thanks, clear visual approach runway 1.
Visual approach runway 1, 2049.
%. Toga. Center line, center line.
80 knots.
Check. No clog pedostatic system.
Delta 26, 17, 2617, New York.
Rotate. You know what, guys? Somehow we lost our takeoff data. That was a max power takeoff. Gear up. Let's see how she flies today. Nice. Fine power is set. Flaps 1. Oh, it flaps all the way up now. There's 100 on the heading. Trim, trim, trim's your friend. Why is it going down?
123 heavy, radar contact, turn left heading 060.
Left heading 060 for American 123 heavy. Yeah, guys, I don't know why she descended.
Walker 2049, runway 1, cleared to land, wind 350 at 8.
There we go.
Runway 1, clear.
No idea. Normally, they'll descend if there's a something on the legs page. Oh, there it is.
1985,
Look at that.
Somehow
Somehow the cruise altitude went to 3,000. That's a fluke.
46 heavy, descend and maintain.
That's a fluke.
6,000, Kennedy altimeter 2.
No one's the wiser. No one's the wiser.
998, 1716,000.
All right, VNAV, LNAV, here we go.
American 123 heavy, climb maintain 10,000.
If I maintain 10,000, American 123 heavy. Let's go back to the box. I think they want us to go over at 10,000 as our final. Yeah, somewhere in all that, the TPS went to max power, but you saw it. We had set it, so somewhere something went wrong. The altitude, cruise altitude, went to 3,000. And so that's why the airplane started to level off there. So, what are you gonna do? Nothing for Bradley's just going to New York Center. Nothing for Bradley as of yet. Okay. Checklist.
Sorry, Comanche 72 Whiskey, say again.
Just on the descent. 9 for 10 on the altitude.
72 Whiskey, upon exiting the Skyline route northbound, that's approved as requested.
And let's go in here and cruise page, we'll go over at 310. All right, there it is.
United 754, expect ILS runway 4 into LaGuardia.
Expect the ILS runway 4, United 754.
We're cruising. Let's go get a Navigraph set up for
American 123 heavy, proceed direct Bridgeport VOR, Bravo Delta Romeo.
Director Bravo Delta Romeo for American 123 heavy. All right, come back
American
inside.
2246 heavy, descend and maintain 13,000.
13,000.
Bravo Delta Romeo looks good. Execute. LNAV.
Caribbean 526 at 14,000.
And Bridgeport's only 25 miles away.
Caribbean 526.
And we don't have a clearance after Bridgeport.
Cameron at 9,000.
Maybe Penne? All right, let's go back in here.
10 miles east of Cameron at 9,000, 526.
Get Navigraph set up. Airports.
New York Center Bravo, American 23 at Kennedy. Holding point for left.
Flights.
American 23 New York, hello. Wind 0108, runway 4 left, good for takeoff.
Yeah, obviously I could have set this up better.
American 23.
Pretty rusty. Just wanted to get back on here and say hello to y'all. I think he's going to probably give us, guys, for the approach, the ILS to 6. Uh, 373, 180-foot field, so that's 200 feet. 373, right down here. $373. I don't see anything from Bradley, so we could go put that in VATSIM. METAR KBR. METAR KBDL. What are we gonna get? And also on the page, ATIS is 1815 for Bradley, so we could come down in here.
DBM 622 Bravo, leaving Myers-Space, frequency change approved, good eye.
Frequency change approved, 622 Bravo. Thanks for your help.
See how we're doing here?
American 2246 heavy, turn right, heading 180, descend and maintain 8,000.
And I think what I'll do is request direct to Penny. Let's go back in here. And American 123 heavy, request direct to Penna.
American 123 heavy, yeah, that's fine, correct, Penna.
Okay, thanks. Direct Penna, American 123 heavy. Alright, how's that look? Looks good. And let's see where we are in the descent. It says we're going to start the descent pretty soon. And what altitude are we going to request if we have to? Looks like Penna. I'll request 3,000. All right, let's look at the descent check. It says recall. Recall. Looks good. Notes. Bradley information Zulu. Wind 340 at 6. Visibility greater than 20 mile. Sky clear. Temperature 26. Dew point. Temperature 2997.
Heading 040. Cloud
ILS.
maintain 7,000 for now.
0405 maintain 7,000 American 23.
2997.
American 123 heavy, leaving Myers Base. Bradley approaches closed. Frequency change approved. Good eye.
Okay, thanks for your help for American 123 heavy. 93.7. All right, we're on our own, kids.
American 23 heavy, correction, American 23, cloud maintained 17,000.
Cloud maintained 70,000 American 23.
All right, there's 3,000 is in. It's going to start down. It will just do a VNAV arrival into Bradley. Pretty simple. Yeah, pretty rusty, guys, on the VATSIM stuff and on just the flight sim stuff. But anyway, we were on the checklist, right? Checklist. Notes are checked. Landing data is standard. Approach brief. All right, it's going to be the ILS to 6. Got 111.1. And in the box, we've got set 111.1058 and DH of 373. 111, there's 373 set. We're starting down. And we need to be at 250, right?
New York Center, American 1123.
It's slowing down nicely.
Ready for taxi.
And we can go the overhead.
American
Bingham.
1123, runway 13, taxi.
Flight attendants,
Bravo,
prepare for landing,
Papa,
please.
hold short,
They're
runway
sterilized. All right, it's slowing to 250 before we descend.
Runway
We got Pena at 3.
Papa, hold short for 1123.
American 2246 heavy, flying 220, descend and maintain 4000.
Yeah, got Pena at 3.
220 at 4,000.
We'll say Pena at 3. That's good enough right there, actually.
United 754, descend and maintain 7000.
Janet
7,000.
at above 24.
American 23,
Honey,
turn left heading 350.
170, 18, going down to 373. Wrist approach is in the box, but it's climbed to 4,000, left turn direct to BAF. All right. So now,
United 1985, correct King.
Direct King United 1980.
22.8 all the way in. That's the only thing operating here. No Bradley, no BDL. New York Center has gotten rid of us, so we just have to report our arrival as we get down there. Let's go to the outside view. Going into Bradley. Oh, you want to see my house? Let me see here. I think you do. I think you definitely want to see my house. So my house, yeah, I drag, okay. We'll see. Madison. "17 miles away off the right wing." So right in here. That's my house. Come by and have a beer later on, okay? I'm gonna go home on this layover. Kind of leave you guys up at Brad. Now, you know what? You can all come with me. We'll go to the pool. All right, it's having trouble. The reason why it wanted me to slow, it's having trouble keeping 250 below 10. It's doing a nice job. It's doing a nice job on the path, though. If you look here, that's the path. It's doing a good job. Just needs a little help slowing down, that's all. Maybe a little bit of speed brake will help. There it goes. All right, so let's take a look at the fixed page. And if you put in prog page, rather, we have 29 miles to go. And we are passing 8,000. And we're pretty much on a 3-degree glide path. I'm going to slow it down just a little more. What that allows me to do is get my flaps to 5, which will help me a little more. And then the last two things we need to do down here, we need to go auto brakes. We'll go 3. Descent checks complete. Altimeters are set. And approach speed, we'll go flaps 30. And then we need to look at after landing. After landing, what are we going to do? We are going to go after landing, taxi, airport. We're landing on runway 6, and the terminal's way over here. So we'll probably get off at Charlie 4, right on Charlie, and we'll park somewhere in here. Parking gates and coordinates. Yeah, somewhere. I think the American Airlines gates are up in this area. We'll park somewhere in there. All right, we'll have a little fun. Get all the stuff out. All right, we're doing good. How are we doing on the approach? Well, we're still in path. We're right on the RNAV, RNP descent. How far out are we? We are 21 miles and 6,000 feet, pretty much on a 3-degree glide path. I can actually come up here. I can line the approach. Let it come on in and fly it real nice. Real nice like. Yeah, back in the saddle. I do have tomorrow off, so maybe I'll do another VATSIM, maybe a stream if anyone's available. All right, approach is done. That's the landing checklist. We'll come up to that. Going direct to Penna. I'm happy with everything. All right, so what do we have here? We have our minimum set. We're LNAV and VNAV, Lokes armed, glide slopes armed. That's what those white insignia are. See this white thing here? That's the, we call it, that's the glide slope, and this is the localizer. Slang for that is ghost. That's the ghost glide slope, ghost localizer. We'll pick it up somewhere in here. Right now we're flying LNAV, VNAV, and we're just keeping our speed 220. We are 16 miles from the field. Do a little cinematics. Back inside, make sure airplane's doing what we want it to do. All right, back outside. How's that? Back inside. What else you got for me? Nice. Nice. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to miss this job, sorta. It's time for me to be home. Inside looks good, coming up on nicely. I'll get this range down a little bit here. Guys need a closer look maybe. So get LNAV, VNAV, low glide slope arm, and we're, oh, I want to be at Hummy at 1,800 feet, 180 knots. So I'll start slowing it down a little more. There's low capture. Low capture. Coming up on the glide slope nicely. Let me go up here. Put 2,000 in the window so it keeps going down. And there's glide slope capture. So now we'll put the missed approach altitude in the window, which is 4,000 because we're glide slope and low. 4,000, so missed approach is set. So what do we have? LNAV, VNAV, slowing down nicely. We can get the gear down. 2,500. And we said that we're going to use 139, so 144 will be our in the window when we're all said and done. Gear is down. Bring this all the way back. How do I know when to bring the flaps down? Well, there's the speed. So flaps 20 was 225. Flaps 30 is 180. So when I get below 180, I can bring it all the way down. I can bring it to 25. We have to have our flaps, everything in IMC conditions by 1,000 AFL. All right, before landing checklist. Flaps 30 before landing checklist. And we go to the checklist. Speed brake lever. Armed. Flaps to 30 before landing checklist complete. Clear to land. If you remember, what are we going to do after landing? We are going to go, remember. We're going to go right on Charlie. Remember that? We don't need this sector anymore. And let's go to the outside view. 1,000. Let's take one more look outside for fun. How's that? Cool, huh? All right, let me come inside. Autopilot's off. Let's try for a beautiful landing. A beautiful landing indeed. 500. Stable, target, sinking 7. Man, this thing's flying so much better now that I got my settings all set up. All right, runway in sight, continuing landing.
Minimums. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Not bad, Captain Marvel. Definitely had worse. Reverse. $80, $60, come out of reverse. And you don't want to pop the things out of reverse. Just gently bring them up when you reach idle power. It's really bad for the engines. All right, flaps up. You don't do any checklist items on the runway, guys. So, and that's it. Let's go park and call it a day. Where are we on the taxiway? Let's take a look. Here we are. So we'll get off at Charlie 4 here. Kind of a big turn. It's actually the runway. This is inaccurate, guys. This taxiway is no longer a runway. It's I think it's taxiway Echo, a Charlie rather. It's it used to be a runway, but the Bradley airfield diagram, which I got from Miami or some Miami publication or something, it's no longer. So anyway. Let's go down here on Charlie. All right, flaps up, please, after landing checklist. Like this. Come to the overhead. It's my taxi view. I should have made a announcement on Common, right? That I was landing. But anyway, no one's here. All right, we're on Charlie. We're going to come up here and go left on Sierra and find a place to park. Let's go to the overhead and get the APU started. All right, and the FO does the flight director switches, after landing checklist. Got the engine ices off, landing light strobes are off, we did all that. Radar's off, auto brakes are off. Are they? Well, yeah, they disarmed. Auto brakes are disarmed, flaps are up, speed brake lever's down, APU start. That's it. That's the after landing checklist. Got that right here. You can download that off the internet somewhere. All right, so recapping the flight. A couple of boo-boos. Hydraulic pumps and fuel pumps on before engine start. Pushing back off Kennedy. That wasn't good. Got that straightened out. Other than that, pretty good flight, if I do say so myself. That was okay, right? That was big nothing. It was cool that we got a little bit of VATSIM action there. Okay, we're cleared to cross 15 left and right. Final is clear. Probably a good one. Yeah, American 123 Bradley traffic. We're crossing 33 at Bradley. Yeah, that was interesting. My that put my brakes on. I'm gonna have to change that on the yoke. Always something. Wow, gotta love it. All right, Sierra here. And then we're going to go find a place to park. I don't know. American Airlines parks in this area here. We'll just park off the end one of these gates. APU is started, I do believe. Let's make sure of that. APU's running right there. Little cinematics. Let's turn right. Let's find someplace to park. American Airlines, that looks promising. This looks like a good gate for a gigantic airplane, right? We'll see. I'm sure GSX will tell me that this gate is not big enough. Not even sure if Bradley can handle a triple on these gates. Might be one or two gates. I know Boston has very limited, very limited gates. We'll see. We'll go way up. See if we can't get this jet bridge collected. It looks like down here you see these lines. We'll go all the way up. This is fun. Let's make sure we don't hit the jet bridge. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Oh, this is definitely not a wide body gate. All right, brakes are parked. Seatbelt sign is off. APU is running. You can chop them. Shut down checklist. And I go the overhead, and I go this off, and I turn the hydraulic pumps off. Tell me we haven't made progress. Fuel pumps off, and I got beacons off, and shut down checklists. We go to the checklist. Now let me make sure the parking brakes are in fact off, parked rather, and go to the box, and let's do some magic here because look, nothing, right? Nothing. Let's see if we can get a jet bridge to work here. Add-ons. GSX.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Yeah, you know what else is too small? Me. My wish was too small. All right, so here we go. We're going to go down here. And ground services. Set the chocks. Once the chocks are set, we can let's get all these things. Let's request it all. Give us the works. Fill her up. Check the oil, please. Father Time and his crew. Guys, if you wouldn't mind, that would be great if you could give me a little subscription down there. Much appreciated. Get the ground power in. Best actions. Maintenance. Yeah, let's refill everything up. Let's get the works. You know, you pay for it. Let's just get it all done. Now let's go to GSX. See if we can get it to the plane.
Is too small for your aircraft.
I know. Request deport.
Requested.
Maybe we can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear everything. And now what we do is we go to the Adaroo on the overhead. Battery power you can turn off, believe it or not. We're going to go on. And that's a nice day. We'll say APU's coming off. Packs are off. It's equipment cooling. And check was complete. Open forward cargo, open aft cargo. All right. All right. Always an adventure. FS actions. Service vehicle locations. Forward, 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 really. Menu. FS action. Doors. All right. Close all. Disarm. Disarm. Just open these guys.
Passengers deboarding starting.
Yeah, get out of here, guys. We love you. We love you. Don't leave anything behind, all right? See what it looks like out there. See, I don't think you guys... Let me turn on the options. Sound. Options. Sound. Okay. Options. General. And then I'm going to do sound. Engines, voice. Can you hear that? Let's listen.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Oh, I'll do. All right, guys. Look at that. All right, we made it. We made it all the way to Bradley. We're back in the swing of things. I don't know why we're still hearing that ATIS. Since we don't have ATIS tuned anywhere. Maybe it will stop now. I want to see if you can hear the passengers.
New York Center, November 3514, Tango holding short runway 1.
All right, guys. That's enough of that nonsense.
November 14.
All right, guys. Listen, we're back in the swing of things. I'll come back on again here soon. Just getting back in the swing of things. 777-300. I retire in September after 36 years with American Air Force. Before that, we have a Discord. I'll leave the link in the description. I'll be on a lot once I retire. I kind of come and go and streaky as far as when I get on because of my work commitment and my wife's birthday week. But anyway, I enjoyed it. We'll talk to you real soon. Father Time is checking out. Oh, by the way, thank you. And as everyone knows, you guys, any help you can give me, suggestions, all my guys help me a lot. You take good care of me, and I honestly appreciate that. Being new to the flight sim world, I definitely appreciate you guys. And let me know if anything I can do to take care of you guys. Anything I can help you with, just let me know. If I can do it, I will help you. All right. Father Time's out. Talk to you soon.